tingin nila ay may probable cause at marami na namang ebidensya roon, i-transmit na sa Senado where the trial should forthwith commence.
Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng probable cause, especially in light of the ongoing impeachment proceedings against our VP Sara Duterte? Magandang araw, magandang oras po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Attorney Fred Leson, ang inyong moderator dito sa The Agenda at Tribute Hotel. This program is brought to you by Impact Publishing in cooperation with EFG Consulting Incorporated. Today, I promise you we will have a very interesting and perhaps the most exciting for this year, given the panel of our resource speakers. Fireworks or no fireworks, masaya po tayo ngayong araw. And without further ado, allow me to introduce our guest today. To my left, he is the Deputy Spokesperson for the Partido Democratico Pilipino. He is the Managing Partner of Topacio Law Office. He is a veteran litigator and the country's most visible legal figures in high-profile and politically sensitive cases. Allow me to introduce to you Attorney Ferdy Topacio. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
And to my right, convener of Clergy for Good Governance, often referred to as the running priest. Pare, nakulong, mahilig sa protesta, at hindi natatakot. He has been actively involved in various civic and religious movements that promote transparency, human rights, and ethical leadership. Welcome po to our show, Father Robert Reyes.
Thank you po.
And finally, mainstay na po natin dito, ang ating legal counsel and constitutional expert and convener of Artikulo 11. He is a respected lawyer in legal research, public policy, and governance issues, and been actively involved in discussions and initiatives related to constitutional accountability, particularly impeachment processes in the Philippines. Welcome to our show, Attorney J.V. Bautista.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here with this very colorful gentleman.
Okay. Before we proceed to our colorful discussion, unahin na po natin. Siguro, Attorney Ferdy, ikaw mauna. Please enlighten our viewers and listeners. Ano po ba talaga ang probable cause? Based on your legal expertise, what is this probable cause all about?
Thank you, Panyero. First of all, before I proceed, I'd like to make a minor correction. I'm no longer the managing partner of the Topacio Law Office. I'm the senior partner. The day-to-day affairs have been left to another partner, Attorney Joselito Lumangaya. Because between my duties as PDP Deputy Spokesman and my other duties, including making movies, I have little time left for actual law practice.
Abogado na, artista pa. Go ahead, sir.
By the way, I'd like to plug one of my movies, Mama Sapano, is still streaming on Netflix. This is about the SAP 44. This is a movie that has earned 12 trophies from various award-giving bodies for cinematic excellence, including Metro Manila Film Festival and the Star Awards. So, pasensya na sa plug, ha?
No problem, sir. Let's go back.
Anyway, going back, yes.
Probable cause.
Sorry, I digress, but probable cause, as any practicing lawyer knows, is evidence that will persuade a reasonable person to conclude that the respondent or the accused is probably guilty of an offense, although other minds equally reasonable may conclude otherwise. That's the simplest term that I can reduce it to. Doon po sa pamilyar sa inyo sa proceeding sa piskal, yun lamang po ang hinihiling kapag may proceedings sa prosecution. Pagka merong complaint affidavit, the prosecutor has the option of either dismissing it outright, for instance, prescribed, or it does not state a crime, or none of the one or all of the elements are absent. If there is ground to make the respondent answer, he is subpoenaed and required to present a counter affidavit. And then, depending on the prosecutor and, of course, the complainant, whether he or she submits a reply, there will be a rejoinder. And the prosecutor, usually, around 90% of the time, will just base the determination of probable cause on those 2 or 4 documents as the case may be, unless there are clarificatory questions which do not occur all the time. In fact, I dare say that the clarificatory questions occur very rarely in the course of proceedings in the prosecution office.
Under the criminal...
Can I interject?
Dagdag ko lang para mas maliwanag ng konti. No, sa criminal prosecution, you explain to us the definition of probable cause. Do you think, Attorney Ferdy, dito sa nangyayari sa impeachment proceedings, is there proper application of the determination of probable cause by the prosecutors? Kasi ang prosecutors body yung House eh. Sa tingin ko ba, tama ba yung proseso ginagawa? Na you said clarification hearings not required, but at the same time, hindi naman bawal.
Hindi bawal, pero we have to remember, okay, unang-una, I will no longer debate with anyone here as to whether or not there is probable cause. Kasi opinion natin lahat yun. And in the final analysis, it is up to the House committee. Okay? Ang akin lamang po rito, kasi pag dinabati natin itong probable cause, they say that it's an opinion, and an opinion is like an asshole. Everyone has one. Ang akin na lamang po, if probable cause is to be determined, kung probable cause lamang po ang i-determine, well, katulad ng sinabi ni Justice Ascuna, all you have to do is look at the documents attached to the impeachment complaint. May attachment po yun. The Vice President has submitted her answer. Sabi nga ni Justice Ascuna, if there are documents to be authenticated, you may subpoena those documents. If Madriaga has to verify or authenticate, again under oath his affidavits, he may be summoned. Pero there should not be a full-blown trial. Kasi nakalagay talaga rin sa rules, it's a hearing. And then sa akin po, baka sabihin kasi nila, bakit takot kami sa impeachment? Hindi po takot sa impeachment ang PDP. By the way, the stand of the PDP is supportive of the Vice President, just to be transparent. Ang amin po, kung tingin nila ay may probable cause at marami na namang ebidensya roon, i-transmit na sa Senado where the trial should forthwith commence. This is not the time and the place to be asking witnesses to read aloud their affidavits. Anyway, the contents of the affidavits are matters of record. This is not the time and the place to be televising these trials. Although okay lang naman televise, kaya lang para sa amin, double standard. Bakit yung trial ng House Committee televised, sabi nila, for transparency? Bakit yung ICI, yung Independent Commission for Infrastructure, isang hearing lang ang na-live stream? Pagkatapos yung the rest, behind closed doors, kay Sandro Marcos, kay Martin Romualdez, puro behind closed doors. So, yun lamang po ang aming dinidenounce dito. They are using the hearings of the House Committee not to determine probable cause, but as a platform for a demolition job against the Vice President. So, alam nyo, some people will say otherwise. Huwag na tayo maglukuhan. Yun po ang ginagawa talaga. And the people are smart enough to know. So, kung medyo may hiya pang natitira, itong mga majority ng committee members sa sarili nila, ay i-transmit na nila. Otherwise, go on. Wala namang makakipigil sa inyo eh. Pero, alam nyo po, you're not fooling a lot of people. You're only fooling yourselves. Thank you.
Well,
Attorney JV,
Panyero,
mukhang nanggigigil ka na sa rebuttal.
when you ask Attorney Topacio a question, you just ask one question. He will not stop. My good friend, can articulate here for the rest of the day. Anyway, let me go into the question of probable cause. Kasi itinuturo ko yan in the College of Law where I was dean. Probable cause is also of constitutional origin. Particularly in the issuance for a warrant of arrest. So probable cause appears, the phrase appears in the Constitution. Because that is the standard for which a warrant of arrest can be issued.
Article 3.
Now, yes, Article 3. However, you can find probable cause also in the rules of criminal procedure in preliminary investigation. Before this, before the amendments to the rules of criminal procedure, the standard for finding, to determine whether a criminal information will be filed in court is prima facie evidence. Now, prima facie is lower than probable cause. Probable cause is of higher standard than prima facie. And it is described by the rules of criminal procedure as follows. It has two elements. Number one, a crime has been committed. So, the investigator must determine first that there was a crime. Maliwanag na mayroong crime. Now, what the investigator will now determine is whether or not the respondent probably committed the crime. That is probable cause. Now, probable cause means only more likely than not he committed it. More likely than not. And therefore, it is not a finding of guilt. It is only a finding of probable cause. Now, probable cause can also be utilized by the police in warrantless searches. For example, if they see that there is probable cause. Now,
Let's focus on the impeachment.
Yes, what I'm saying is this, Panyero, no?
Go ahead.
Probable cause is both of constitutional origin and really a criminal law concept. It is a criminal procedure concept. If you ask me, first of all, I'd like to correct you. I'm not really a constitutional law expert, but I do teach constitutional law. But I don't consider myself an expert. I lean on the views and opinions of former Chief Justice Renato Puno, who I consider to be the living and best constitutional law expert in the land today. I do not understand where the House Justice Committee plucked the concept of probable cause in determining whether to file the articles of impeachment or not. There is nothing in the Constitution that tells them you have to find probable cause before filing the articles of impeachment. However,
So in other words, I'll cut you short, Attorney JB. In other words, mali yung ginagawang proceeding sa House?
no, not
Because
necessarily.
probable cause as a term, as a criminal law and
Criminal law.
constitutional law term,
Yes.
wala doon sa House rules of
There's,
impeachment?
I do not know about the House rules, but I do know that in the Constitution, you cannot find the requirement to find probable cause before the filing of the articles of impeachment. However, I must add this, and this is very important, Panyero. The Constitution grants to the House of Representatives the exclusive power to initiate impeachment. Diyan kami medyo, this is where I really do not agree with the decisions of the Supreme Court, when it struck down the articles of impeachment as null and void.
Last year.
I think it was a case of overreach. That's another issue. I think that the House, if it wants to impose on itself the standard of probable cause before it files the impeachment, that's its prerogative. Nobody can control the House. So we cannot say it's wrong. We can say that, it's not easy to understand where they got it. Maybe some lawyers there who are practicing litigators like Attorney Topacio and myself would say, hanapan na lang natin ang probable cause. But actually, to me, if you just ask my opinion, I think prima facie would be enough. And I'll explain later why, if you ask me.
Okay. Thank you for that clarity. in terms of the differences between prima facie and probable cause. Having heard our experts in the law of the land, I'd like to hear from the law of the Lord. Ngayon, Father, sinabi nga ni Atty. Ferdy kanina, bakit naman parang double standard? Other proceedings, medyo transparent. Tulad dito sa House Committee ngayon, whereas doon sa ICI, hindi transparent. I think perhaps Atty. Ferdy would not disagree. How come doon sa impeachment complaint laban kay President BBM, walang gantong clarification hearing, pero kay VP Sara mukha yatang marami at mahaba. Pagdating po ba sa batas ng Panginoon, ano po ba dapat ang batayan before we can condemn any person? Before we can make a person accountable?
Unang-una, dapat walang double standard. Diba? Before God, we're all brothers and sisters. So therefore, nothing in the law of the land and in the law of the church can be used to protect anybody against an accusation, whether with or without probable cause. Kaya ako, nabitin ako na talagang hindi televised yung ICI. Nabitin ako. Dahil na sumisigaw na ikulong ang mga korap. Paano ba ikulong? Di ba, mga kurakot. Pero, paano ba ikulong? Pagkatapos ng isang hearing, lahat wala kang nakita. Sandro Marcos, Martin Romualdez, kumalat na sa social media na si Martin Romualdez ay may 10 mansyon sa Forbes, may 1.6 hectare na property worth 80 billion. Mind-boggling figures. So therefore, kung totoo yan, dapat bigyan ng sapat na exposure. Sandro Marcos, anak ni Bongbong, meron ba yung exposure sa fake flood control projects? Kung meron, ipakita. Kung wala, ipakita rin. Pero bakit hindi pinakita? Kaya ako, personally, bakit gano'n?
Pero paano, Father? Kasi lumalabas na inuuna muna nila si VP Sara, baka susunod naman yung mga ibang involved sa mga flood control projects.
Pero balita ko, nasa ombudsman na yung kaso ni Martin Romualdez. So, ilabas na ni Boy. Ilabas na, kasuhan na.
Okay.
So, pero sa akin, bagamat naintindihan ko yung probable cause sa prima facie, dahil sa tagal ko ng exposure sa mga abogado, good and bad lawyers, I will not say whether this two...
Sabi mo ng finding ng probable cause, Father.
Yung good and bad lawyers, I have probable causes to conclude that certain lawyers are good and certain lawyers are bad. I will not conclude on the two of you.
It's obvious.
So,
Abogado niya po.
kasi nagkasama na kami ni Ferdy, nagkasama na rin tayo. Sa tagal ng pakikialam ko, I've been exposed to all kinds of lawyers, good and bad.
Neutral na.
Hindi ako neutral.
Never neutral. You're a lawyer.
Pagkagalitan ko kayo kapag kailangan. Pero ang gusto ko na sabihin na yung side ng simbahan, ako po, mula nung July 2016 hanggang ngayon, and even before July 2016, panahon pa ni ERAC, panahon pa ni GMA, panahon pa ni FBR, panahon pa ni Gloria, nakikialam na ako eh. Kaya nakikita ko po, hindi yung probable cause, kundi moral and cultural impact of leadership. Yan nakita ko. Kung ano yung moral and cultural impact ng Duterte leadership, ng Pinoy leadership, lahat po tinitingnan ko. Kaya may komentaryo ako at meron akong reklamo sa bawat namumuno. No? Wala, there's no perfect. Kaya lang talaga, nung panahon ni Duterte, talagang ako ay nagimbal ako sa mga naririnig ko, nakikita ko, nangyayari. At kaya ako sinabi ko nga, Ferdy at JB, Fred, sinabi ko sa isang forum that the church has the moral imperative to prevent another Duterte presidency. Dahil nakita ko personally yung cultural and moral and economic, etc., political repercussion of certain kinds of leadership.
Sige, Father, let's leave that topic for a while. Dito tayo ngayon, yung hot topic, witness Ramil Madriaga. Attorney Ferdy, I know you're not part of the defense team. I know you're not part of the House prosecution team. Given your expertise in trying to assess credibility of witnesses, at the same time, weight of evidence, ano po ba tingin niyo, sir, yung mga sa sinabi ni Ramil Madriaga, is it enough to establish what we have defined as probable cause?
Yes, alam mo, kumpanyero, the credibility or lack thereof of Mr. Madriaga has been debated to death. Even in between the very short time that he has testified, last 14 yata yun, ano, if I'm not mistaken. Ngayon ay, ano ba ngayon? 17. It has been debated to death, and I think everyone and his mother has an opinion. May mga nagsasabi, hindi pwede yung siya ay nag-form ng OVP, etc. Hindi na po ako mag-dwell doon kasi I know it would be carrying coals to Newcastle pagka dinibati ko pa or i-discuss ko pa ito. At syempre, to be candid, I will always say that he is not credible dahil I am part of the bias po ko. Biased ako. Although, you can see for yourself the basis or the foundation of my saying that he is not credible. The bottom line is, and eto, kung gusto ni JV, magpagpustahan tayo ako dyan. It does not matter anymore whether Madriaga is credible or not. That committee is prejudged to finding probable cause. Pustahan tayo 1 milyon. May probable cause yan, oh. Yung 100,000 mo manalo ng 1 milyon. Pupusta ako, itatransmit yan.
Meron.
Alin?
Sabi na probable cause.
Hindi dahil may probable cause, dahil prejudged na ng committee. That committee has standing orders from the House leadership. I-transmit nyo yan. Yun lang ang bottom line yan. Huwag na tayo maglokohan dito kasi i-discuss pa natin yung procedure, yung credibility ng witnesses, kung tama ito, tama ron. Walang tama, walang mali. Ang bottom line dyan, ipapatransmit yan. Kaya nga sabi ko, kung may natitira pa silang hiya sa kanilang pagmumuka, ay i-transmit na nila. Of course, they will not do that. Why? There are also understanding orders na i-demolish yung karakter ni Vice President Duterte sa pamamagitan nitong hearings na ito. Kaya nga sabi ni JV, saan ba nila nakuha yung probable cause and they're trying to find probable cause. It's not that kinuha nila yung probable cause, naghanap sila ng dahilan para magkaroon ng mahabang hearings para sirain si Vice President Sara Duterte because they are doubtful of conviction. I'm not saying ma-acquit, ha? Hindi naman ako si Nostradamus o si Madam Auring, namatay na nga yata yun eh. Hindi nga niya nahulaang matatalo siya sa eleksyon. Pakapungkat siya yung natalo. Pero sinasabi ko sa inyo, mark my words, JB, 100,000 mo manalo ng 1 milyon, itatransmit sa Senado yan. Siguro,
Attorney JB. But the thing is,
tapusin ko lang. Para sa akin, of course, I will always respect the decision, the opinion of these people. While we differ, I'm glad that I am among friends. Na we really agree to disagree. Para sa akin, itatransmit yan. Number 1, bakit? Sinabi na ng House leadership na itatransmit. Number 2, magkakaroon ng mahabang hearing para sirain si Vice President Duterte. And not because there is probable cause. Okay, then JV will explain why he believes that there is probable cause.
No, allow me to explain.
Balik mo na lang.
No, I'd like to hear your reaction kasi sinasabi nga dyan, there are standing orders already according to Attorney Ferdy.
I do not know if there is any.
Pero ano sa tingin mo?
Ito tingin ko. You know, the Supreme Court has described or defined an impeachment process as primarily legal with political characteristics. Ayan ang definition niya. So we stand by that because the Supreme Court is the one who defines it, what the Constitution is. Pero, I think I will go along with the analysis of former Chief Justice Puno. You see, impeachment was not placed under Article 8 under the judiciary. So, hindi binibisa talaga yan technically. It was not placed under Article 6 in the legislative because it is not a legislative work. It was placed under a separate article, Artikulo 11. Article 11, which is far removed from Articles 6 and 8. Okay? And subsequent ka na, subsequent, Artikulo 11. Now, why is this? Because the Constitution wants to exact accountability from high officials. Ngayon, what is impeachment really all about? According to Chief Justice Puno, you can break down impeachment into two stages yan eh. One is the political stage. That is the exclusive prerogative of the House to initiate. Ang sabi lang naman ng Constitution, exclusive power to initiate. Yan. Now, with a vote of 1/3, there is a provision in Article 3, Paragraph 4, that if there are already 1/3 of House members,
Proceed.
diretso na yan eh. There is no need for any finding of probable cause. There is no need for any hearing. Sabi ng Constitution, and it's a plain, simple reading of the constitutional provision, if there is 1/3, you should bring it immediately. It will form the articles of impeachment. It will be filed with the Senate for the trial forthwith. Now, the trial is now the legal stage.
Let's stop muna.
I just want to add this.
No, wait, Anthony. Stop muna natin doon sa legal, sa Senate.
Kasi credibility.
Let's focus on the political muna.
Yeah, okay. Yung political
Yes,
muna.
yes,
Then we go to the legal.
let's not
Yung
worry
political. Kaya hindi ako makikipagpustahan kay Panyero Perdi. Kasi, whatever the House wants, kahit na political ang basis nila, you have to respect that. Kasi the Constitution gave them that power eh. Ngayon, alam nyo kasi problema sa atin, our structure of government is Republican. Nakahiwalay yung executive, nakahiwalay yung legislative. Kaya tayo may impeachment eh. Ginaya natin yung mga Amerikano. In parliamentary countries, there's no such thing as impeachment. Why? Kasi, vote of no confidence, tanggal sila. Tanggal yung Prime Minister, tanggal yung Executive. And what is a vote of no confidence? Hindi ba political yan? So, why did the Constitution give the power to initiate impeachment to a purely political body? Elected yan eh. These are representatives of the sovereign people. Kaya hindi pwedeng pakialaman dapat na mga unelected high officials like the Supreme Court, yung prerogative na yan, that it should be respected. So, with all respect to my dear friend and kakosa, Father Robert, kasi baka may tingin din siya double standard, bakit dinismiss naman yung kay Marcos? Bakit itong kay Sara tinuloy-tuloy, nagpa-find yung probable cause? Well, it's a very technical thing. The first stage in the process of the House is the determination of sufficiency in form and substance. Yun muna eh. Actually, yung sufficiency in form and substance, sa special proceedings yan eh. So, alam mo yung ginawa ng House, kinukuha nila yung mga different concepts from special proceedings, from criminal law, pinagtagpi-tagpi nila. Ngayon, kay Marcos kasi, they did not find sufficiency in form and substance. Now, that has to be respected. You know why? Kasi to me, let's not be hypocritical. The Congress will act on its own political imperatives. The congressmen, I mean, will act on its own political imperatives. Kung gusto nilang i-impeach yan, and they want to initiate it, sabi lang ng Supreme Court, wala nang grave abuse. They can abuse. Congress can abuse. The House can abuse.
So in other words, Tony Jacob, are you saying that during the impeachment complaint laban kay President Marcos, nagkaroon ng abuse of discretion dahil they belong to the same ruling party?
Not necessarily. What I'm saying is, if that is their decision, whether or not it is a partisan or political decision, it does not matter. They did not violate anything. Ngayon, yung kay Sara, nakasurpass kasi nung first stage yung sufficiency in form and substance. And therefore, it must now be referred to the plenary and it must be referred to the Committee on Justice for hearing.
I'll cut you short. Pero requirement ba talaga yung clarification hearing? Kasi sinasabi nga ni Atty. Ferdy kanina, it's not required nor it is prohibited, pero ang sabi nga niya,
Alam mo,
demolition to.
Ito ang problema. Itong problema, Panyero, medyo tama rin naman itong, I hate to agree with the Attorney Topacio dahil I always disagree with whatever he is saying. But in this case, parang may tama rin naman yung sinasabi niya. Ang problema kasi doon sa ginawa ng Korte Suprema, katakot-takot ang binigay nilang rules where there were none in the Constitution. Dito sa House, pinakialaman nila kung paano tumakbo yung initiation ng impeachment. Ngayon, ang House naman, napakahirap naman ipagtanggol. Kasi puno-puno yan ng mga magnanakaw. Puno-puno yan ng mga kurakot. How can you defend? How can you defend, for example? How can you defend the House of Representatives? Tuwan-tuwa sila In a manner of speaking, eto, nakaka-contribute to the cause ni Attorney Ferdy, pero what can I do? Yun rin ang tingin ko. The Supreme Court gave them a gift. Kasi, yung mga yan, these are clowns. And they want a circus. They always want a circus. With with the live camera, no? Yung taga-Bicol sa rock, ganyan, tuwan-tuwa siya, akala mo, dami-daming alam, di ba? Paliwanag. Pero, yan, ang nangyayari
We will invite him. We will invite him next
Invite
time.
him in.
Sige.
Invite him in. At ko, he's defending Saldi ko Anyway, yun ang problema. Now, they have been given a chance, and this is not their own fault. Sabi ng Supreme Court hearing nyo yan. Bigyan nyo ng pagkakataon. Si Sara Duterte, hindi naman nila sinabi si Sara, they responded, para dumipensa na siya agad. Yun ang sinabi ng Supreme Court. Well, there was none. Wala namang ganung requirement for it. Kaya, the Supreme Court gifted these, mga crooked lawmakers
Aray ko po.
the gift of conducting themselves into a circus. Kaya ayan, that's what you're getting.
Okay. Father
Hindi
Robert.
naman sana ganda.
Maganda sinabi na meron daw clowns, merong circus. What's your reaction, Father Robert? Kasi remember, we are following a constitutional process. Now, for people like our respected gentleman here to say that it is a demolition job, it is a clown, it is a circus, ano po ba ang reaction natin?
JB, Ferdy, I agree. Pero I have another term for them. Political opportunists.
That's
Hindi, ito totoo kasi
More
nga,
diplomatic.
The 218 or so congressmen and women are there for the country or for themselves. That's up to you to decide. But for me, after having done so many causes against corruption, abuse of authority, etc., where politicians are involved, I still have to see, and there are a few who are there not for themselves. And I don't want to name names. No? Kaya, yung sinabi ni JB kanina, that Supreme Court on the impeachment said that it's primarily a legal action with political implications or consequences.
Sabi ng Supreme Court.
Sabi ng Supreme Court, baliktad It is more political than legal. So, I defer to disagree. Supreme Court. Why? Most of you in the Supreme Court are political appointees.
Yes.
So, what is that?
All.
All. Except for Lionel, who was not appointed there by Duterte.
Yeah, but he was politically appointed.
Yes, also. Therefore, by the nature of your appointment, you are not there out of legal consideration. You are there for political considerations by the appointing power, di ba? Having said that, ano masasabi ko sa impeachment? The impeachment is a political, primarily political. Tingnan mo yung nangyari doon sa first impeachment last year. Trinasmit sa Senado, pagdating sa Senado, binalik ni Chis Escudero
Sa House.
sa House at mabilis na nag-respond ang Supreme Court, it's unconstitutional. Ang bilis. Nag-usap pa sila.
Wala nang hearing yan.
But tatanong ko, nag-usap pa sila? Was that coordinated? It is. Whether I saw it or not, nag-usap kung sino man ang kausap ni Chis sa Supreme Court at si Chis. At kung sino man yung kausap nila sa ibaba, nag-usap yung tatlo. Kaya, ano itong separation of powers? Of course, I don't have any evidence. I did not see anybody talking in some secluded, hidden place. But people conclude, parang coordinated. So, ano yung masasabi ng taong simbahan? Bakit niyo pinaglalaroan ng taong bayan? Yun lang. Ako, sa hulihan, was Bongbong Marcos better than Duterte? Ang sinasabi naman Duterte is better than Bongbong Marcos, kaya ibalik si Duterte in the person of Sara. Is that a legal or a political statement? Is that a morally, spiritually, social scientifically justifiable claim? I think if you analyze that from the moral, cultural, spiritual stand, you can say, I will maintain what I said. Because of the consequence of 6 years of the father, nawalan ng rule of law. Nawalan ng respect sa human rights. Kaya, where are we now? Nung panahon na yon, if I may say, I was parish priest o Pinyahan. Hindi ko matanggap na kung kailan COVID-19, 12 sa aking mga parokyano, pinatay ng mga pulis galing sa Station 10. At bakit? Nakita ko ba mga pulis sa Station 10? Ang nagsasabi yung mga taga-NIA, mga taga-Station 10 po. So, what was that? Policemen killing ordinary citizens and putting cardboards ng laban when there was no weapon, there was no struggle. Basta lalagyan mo yung... So, sa akin, the political and the legal parang obfuscates, puts a smoke screen on something more essential, the moral and the spiritual.